Looking good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 1-800 Contacts Information Session. We are fired up to be here with 1-800. I've been working with the team for a while now, and they are just awesome. They value diversity and inclusion. They are hiring like crazy. They're working on some really cool things. Fun fact, I just ordered my contacts through 1-800 Contacts last week. They were there like the next day. And so they're doing some really cool things. We're excited. If you haven't yet, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Tell us what you know about 1-800 Contacts. And please let us know if you have any questions for 1-800. They're going to be looking in the chat and answering those questions periodically throughout the session. So without further ado, I give to you 1-800 Contacts. Matt, Melissa, take it away.
Luke, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Everybody, thanks for joining. This is Matt Parrish. I'm the head of recruitment for the company. I've got joining us Melissa Jones. We call her MJ here. Also, Stephanie Heileman will be joining us as well. Two fantastic leaders within the organization representing MJ, the product position that we have open. Stephanie, respectively, she is the manager over our marketing CRM team. For those of you who don't know who we are the nation's largest contact lens distributor. And we hold 36, if not more, of the largest brands out there. MJ's been here longer than me, so she could probably correct me on that one if I'm off. But yeah, what we do is we provide the service as a customer service to all of our customers who want their contacts taken care of, their eyewear. You guys may have seen a few of the other additions that we're bringing out there, which is Boomerang, the ability to send in your glasses and have the lenses put back into those frames and sent back to you within under a 2-week time frame. We've also got the Express eye exam that allows you to do the exam in your pajamas, in your basement if you want it to be. You don't have to go to the doctor's office if you've got your prescription handy. So we are the leading disruptor right now in the eyewear business. Some of the fun things that make this company worth becoming a part of, as you can see, I'm here in the office. We are also still working from home. It is up to the managers to kind of decide after a town hall last week with our CTO as to your comfort level of coming into the office versus staying from home. So what we really do is look at what makes the best sense for you. One of the mantras we look at is putting people first. Lots of fun things that we do here as well. You're never a cog in a watch. You're always going to be looked as a family member. I can say that. I used to be a recruiter on the agency side for 14 years prior to coming here. I've been here for 3.5, and I couldn't figure out the magic sauce that kept people here when I was offering them tons of more money on the base side. When I got here, you can feel that family atmosphere. We've been able to try and do that a little bit more via the video stuff, a little bit more of a challenge. But I'll tell you what, when you get in here and you get into the work and you get with the team, you can really feel that you are a family member. So if you're looking for a fun place to work with or work from and be a part of a family, this is definitely that company to work for. I want to spend a little bit or let a little bit of time go to MJ and Stephanie. Again, MJ, she is our director over product management. She's been with the company for 10 plus years, I think.
It's a really long time.
So I'll have her talk a little bit more about what we do here in product management as a general rule of thumb, but a little bit about her journey, what she's specifically involved with. And then we'll turn some time over to Stephanie, who is, of the three of us, one of the newer members, only been with us for about a year, but made an amazing impact into the CRM role. So MJ, take it away.
Yeah. So hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Jones. And as Matt said, I've been with the company for a long time. I actually started back in 2004. And I'll tell you just really, really briefly about my journey. And part of what I like about that is it just shows how often we have people that come through diverse paths, but we also really, really value promoting from within. So when I was in college, I started as a customer service representative. So I was just answering phones and helping people get their contact lenses. And from there, once I graduated, I realized how great of a company it was. And I started to apply for new positions and got promoted a few times into management, and then made a transition into the digital space, working as a business analyst on one of our e-commerce teams. So I've been with the company for a very long time. I'm in product management, as Matt said, and really, really enjoy creating amazing customer experiences and seeing if we can move the needle on any result that we're trying to achieve. It's a really fun blend in product of analysis and creativity on how you solve a problem and create an awesome experience that customers are really going to love and hopefully continue to come back to us time and time again. So I'd like to talk about product management for just a second. I'm going to review to a couple of notes to keep myself on task here. But a product is one of those roles that's not very clearly defined in a lot of organizations. You'll find a bunch of varying roles. So I wanted to just talk about how we do product here. And a product manager is essentially responsible for driving an outcome. And what that means is they're going to take a goal that their team has been given or an area of the business to focus on, and they're going to try to hit that goal and work with their team to figure out what is the right solution we need to build in order to achieve that outcome. And we work in cross-functional teams. I apologize. This is what it's like working from home. A lot of times the dog gets to bark in the background. We work in cross-functional teams that we call swarms. And so that includes a product manager, software engineers, a QA analyst who's going to help ensure the quality of our software before we ship it, and a graphic designer, and usually a data analyst as well. So that team is cross-functional so that we can all be as close to the problem as possible and figure out the best solution together. So those teams are divided up according to the area of focus that we want them to be working on. So each team is given a mission or some kind of key performance indicator that they need to drive. And the product manager is responsible for ensuring that we hit that outcome. So that's the role. It's like an informal leadership role within that cross-functional team. So a few key skills that we're looking for that make a great product manager. If you're applying and you're new to product management, you don't necessarily have to have all of these, but these are just some of the things that are going to make you stand out and make you successful in a product role. Number one is communication. And this is really critical because a product manager sits at the center of a lot of activity, communicating across different departments, across roles, both up, down, and across the company. So really those skills are going to serve you very well if you're looking to get into product. Any kind of business acumen. So product managers are often called the CEO of their product. And that's because they're really responsible for that outcome, like we talked about. So anything that you've done that helps you understand how to drive value for the business is really going to help you in a product role. Being data-driven, comfortable with analytics, having enough technical understanding to be able to communicate with your software engineers and ask critical questions, understand trade-offs. Those are very valuable skills. Any kind of usability or user research experience. The product manager has to understand a little bit about everything that each person on the team does so that we can craft the best possible solution for our customers together. Be comfortable taking risks. We believe in kind of a fail fast mentality, or rather learn fast. We want to experiment, we want to try things, and we want to learn as quickly as we can. So you have to be a little bit comfortable putting something out there and seeing if it's going to work so that you can get that learning. We definitely don't believe in perfection. As long as you're learning, then you are moving in the right direction. The other couple of skills that are really valuable, in my opinion, is the ability to juggle competing priorities and keep things organized. That is definitely a role for the team to keep them focused on executing what the highest priority is at the time. And then anything you have that's going to be familiarity with lean or agile software development practices is really beneficial. We work in usually a lean flow. We're continually delivering new releases on our software across the company. And so that knowledge is very helpful as well. So, long monologue. The last thing I wanted to touch on is just a couple of the roles that we have open. So over the past month, we've been hiring for, I think, 4 separate product roles. It's definitely a growing area of the business and something we're going to continue to focus on in the future. So the first one of those is around vision insurance. And that's an area where we've been building out a lot of capability over the past year as a business. And so we need someone who's going to help continue to grow and bring that offering to our customers. A lot of people in the United States have vision insurance. The ability to spend that money for their contact lenses is really valuable. So we're making that offering more visible and more available on our website and across our storefronts. The next is for mobile app. We have a contact lens ordering app that also does the express vision exam that Matt mentioned. That role is in need of being filled. We also have a prescription platform that helps us because eye care is one of those regulated industries where you need to get a regular eye exam, you have to have a valid prescription to purchase contacts. And there's a lot of stuff that we do after the order is placed to make something super simple for our customers so they don't have to worry about it. That involves a lot of complexity on our side. And so we have a platform team that manages all of that logic and builds out those capabilities. And then lastly, one of our swarms, our teams, is for new customers. Buying contact lenses online for the first time is a little bit more of a tricky process. There's a lot more steps to go through. So we have a team that's dedicated on making that experience really simple for our new customers. And that is it. I'll turn the time over to Stephanie to talk about her roles.
That's it. That's a lot. Thanks, MJ. And thanks for the intro, Matt. That was very kind. Like Matt said, I'm Stephanie Heilman. I'm the CRM manager at 1-800. I just on my 1-year anniversary, actually, this month. I was one of the first people to onboard completely remote last spring when COVID hit. Since then, our team has continued to grow. Over the last 12 months, I've personally onboarded 4 people totally remote. And we're currently exploring what a hybrid model would look like at the office. So we are in true form doing a test where some members of our team are working from home like we have over the past year, while a couple members are going into the office 2 days a week to better understand what challenges we need to overcome to accommodate some sort of hybrid model down the line if we decide to do so. So anyway, a little bit of background on the CRM team. The CRM team is composed of 2 branches here, a marketing branch and a marketing operation branch. I oversee the marketing branch and the 4, soon to be 5, marketers on our team. Each marketer owns the strategy for all the customer-facing communications across email, SMS, so text messages, push, notifications on the app, web content, app content, and so on for the cohorts and the programs that they manage. Today, we're looking for a marketer to own what we call our transactional communications. When I say transactional, I'm referring to comms that are related to a transaction, so an order, or your prescription. These are some of our highest volume programs and are critical to the organization's KPIs around net promoter scores, which are directly related to a customer shopping experience, and managing inbound call volumes. So at a super high level, I see this role as half strategy and research and half project management and analysis. We're looking for someone who can join the team and not only keep what is there going, but help us make it better. Hence why we do a ton of testing. A/B, multivariate, creative, cadence, timing, frequency, content. We're in constant pursuit of improving our comms to better deliver on our key outcomes. Our group drives a pretty big piece of the repeat customer business for 1-800, so stakes are high, which makes for an exciting and fast-paced work environment. In addition to driving repeat business, we also work really closely with internal partners to support different business lines like MJ mentioned the online vision exam called Express Exam, some of our sister brands, Lingo and Boomerang, which Matt mentioned, our private label product called Aquasoft, and so many others, several of the swarms that MJ spoke to for the product management roles. So the CRM team naturally offers a lot of great exposure within the organization. On any given day, a member on our team will work with copywriters, designers, developers, application programmers, analysts, other marketers, and cross-functional stakeholders. So never a dull moment, and lots to learn. Another thing I wanted to call out that leveraging our first party data is a key part of our communication strategy here at 1-800-CONTACTS. And we've got a lot of it. And even better, it's in a place that we can actually use it, which can be rare from what I've seen in my previous experience. So things like how much supply you purchased, do you have insurance that you can apply to an order? What brand do you wear? Could you switch to another brand? When does your prescription expire? How you wear your contact lenses. We recently launched a quiz, kind of like a BuzzFeed quiz, to understand how customers actually consume our products. So do they supplement glasses? Do they just wear them when they travel because it's convenient? How do they actually wear their contacts? So we've got a lot of interesting data points to work with to personalize our content and our customer journeys across all of those channels that we oversee. So like I said, we're currently looking for someone to come in and help us continue to grow as a group, challenge some of the ideas that exist. Like MJ mentioned, we're not seeking perfection, we're just seeking optimization and learning. So I'm gonna pass it back to Matt, and if you have any questions, I guess we can answer them, or is there like a Q&A here that folks can throw questions in?
That was great, both of you. Yeah, there is actually a Q&A going on right now on the chat function. In fact, Stephanie, I'm going to send you that link. We've had a few questions. In fact, people are loving MJ's dog right now. But
Sorry for the noise, everybody.
yeah, what I love about the team here, as everybody can see with MJ, with Stephanie, the enthusiasm they both bring, the knowledge they both have, the experience you get by learning with them along the way is absolutely amazing. We've had one individual call out, do we look at those who are just graduating from school? Do we hire that, or do we look for mid-level people with more experience on up? And the answer I gave, and MJ, if you or Steph want to jump in here, the answer I gave is actually we look at everybody. If you've got the right aptitude, the right ability to learn, the right skill set that meets for the job, we keep that net pretty open. Is that a fair comment to say?
Yeah, I'll go first. I 100% agree. I think it is going to depend on the role. There are some instances where we need to hire a more senior person to achieve the result we're looking for. But as a person who's done a lot of hiring over the course of my career, I will say I would much rather hire for attitude and aptitude than for skill set. Someone that's going to be a good fit, that's hungry, that's willing to learn, that takes ownership and has a positive attitude, they will outperform someone who doesn't have those traits eventually, sometimes quickly, even if that person has more experience. And I credit my career to people taking a chance on that exact thing, because each new role that I moved into, I had never done before. My degree is in environmental science. It has nothing to do with e-commerce and what I'm working on today. And I think that's really common, right? You find something that you're passionate about as you move through your career. And that chance to take on something new and to show that you can learn and tackle those challenges proves that you don't necessarily have to have experience specifically in what you're applying for if you can find a slightly more of an entry-level role to jump into. So yeah, I would agree with that. Stephanie, I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, just to kind of dovetail off that, I would say we certainly have the mindset to hire based on potential. And as a marketer, I'm really excited about folks that are kind of going to come in and stoke the fire. So someone that's really curious. I mean, the reality is whoever joins, there's some kind of learning curve. So you're either learning the business, which is what I went through last year, or you're learning about how we view testing or how we think about personalization and the best way to scale that. So I think that we're very open-minded into what our candidate pool should look like.
Perfect. One of the other things I wanted to call out too, and I know that MJ's got a good story here, because again, out of the three of us, she's been here the longest. But if anybody's ever looking for a company that they would want to make their career within, what I have come to see, and what one of the funnest parts of my job as the lead of recruiting here, is talking to individuals about making their career. So we've got a lot of people that will start out in our call center that will be going through a marketing degree, an IT degree, information systems degrees, things of that nature, that will come up to me and say, hey, I just kind of noticed we've got opportunities here. Is there any chance possibly that I could, look into that? What we always do is have them shadow, make sure it's the right fit, what they really want. And we've had a lot of success stories about individuals who have made their career here. And MJ, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're one of those. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. There is definitely a reason why I've been with the company for so long. And although I had a very brief 2-year period away, why I came back. And some of those reasons are the people. I think we have amazing leadership. And again, people who've given me a chance to learn and grow and to take on new challenges. But the other reason is that there's a lot of diversity of roles within the company. And so I'd have to count at least 6 or 7 different roles over the course of my career within the business. And I like what you said about giving people opportunities to grow. We are very committed to essentially growth and continuing education. And we do a lot of things as a company to promote that. So one of the ways I got my start in transitioning over to e-commerce was that our director of software engineering did regular courses on agile software development and what is it like? And that's one of the first things I went through that opened my eyes to that process and how it might be interesting to work with the development team. I currently, on one of the teams I manage, have an intern that started out in our help desk, helping people with their computer problems, right? Have you tried turning it off and on again, right? And he's now interning as a software engineer on one of our development teams. And so we have a lot of practices in place that we use to develop our associates because we believe in that and can really help them grow in their career.
Awesome. Thanks, MJ. Looking at some of the other chats, just so that MJ and Stephanie know what's going on. One of the questions was, are we looking at the call center being remote? The answer to that is we're still looking into it for everybody. There's a lot we don't know yet. In talking, I should say not us, but our CEO talking to us last week, which is another great thing about the organization, is the transparency that we have with our leadership team. He was talking about the slower transition to getting into the office here. And one of the things we're still learning as managers a little bit is how do we work with everybody on that even cadence. It's not fair to say, if you're a manager, have your whole team in here at the office and have 1 or 2 people externally join in via these remote sessions. Sometimes those individuals can be felt left out, and that's not who we are. So there's a lot of us learning a little bit more about what does the next step for the company look like as we transition back to the overused term normal. But yeah, it's a great call out. So the short answer is to be determined. We're still working those kinks out a little bit. But yeah, everybody's been asking, can we look at remote? For right now, my easy answer is we are currently in the states of Utah. That's where headquarters is. In North Carolina, that's our largest distribution center. So a lot of the distribution center services will be working from there for now. And we're about to open up our first distribution center in Texas. So we are a recognized company in the state of Texas right now. Also, we've had a lot of other comments, not just from the chat here, but others that have said, well, post-COVID, it's kind of a remote state or situation anyway. Are you guys looking at other states? The short answer is we're considering. I've talked to our CPO, who's my big boss, about what are some opportunities around the surrounding states of the state of Utah, just as that baby step. And so the executive team, again, we take things cautious, but they're looking into that. So again, stay tuned. The only states I can tell you guys are Utah, North Carolina, Texas are the ones that I know we could look at remote. But I love the questions so far. With the last remaining 5 or 6 minutes we've got, Stephanie or MJ, are there any things that I've missed that maybe we got to touch on that you feel would be important?
I can jump in and just kind of build off what you guys have been saying. I would say the organization, for as customer centric as we are, we're just as employee centric. And that's been really special and unique from what I've seen from prior work environments that I've come from. I would also say, in line with MJ's story around growth and opportunity, like there's so much runway here. That was one of the biggest draws for me, was just the amount of runway and the investment that the organization and the leadership team here is willing to put in their employees to help them like progress through the organization. And if in line with Matt's comments on transparency, like if there's not something that's an appropriate fit for your next move, like they're okay with that. They're just hyper focused on, let's make sure that you're getting all of your like personal and professional development out of this experience, along the way.
That was awesome. Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, looking through the comments a little bit more. I mean, I think we're answering most of them. Yeah, sorry for some of you that are in the other states. Again, we're still trying. It's going to be a slow go, but I appreciate you jumping on here, asking the questions. I think it's super important that we keep everything in mind. I'm sure if there's anything else that we really need to talk about. Again, one of the best things, being a recruiter for 17 and a half years now, 1-800-CONTACTS does look out for everyone. It started back 26 years ago with Jonathan Kuhn, looking internally first and saying, if we take care of our associates, naturally going to take care of our customers. And we've never faltered away from that business model. And as you can see with some of the stories that you've heard, with MJ making her career here the way she has, Stephanie being graciously our guinea pig on the remote side of things and having her learn a little bit on the fly, has done an amazing job. And she has, her team has done some outstanding things. They got some really big goals this year to hit, but she's been able to really catch on to who 1-800-CONTACTS is, as that we put people first mentality, and helping her teammates grow and develop and having them, again, do their best to reach out to the customers. So again, I know my salesman's hat's on right now, but in working with different companies throughout the Valley here in Utah, some of the big name ones, all super great companies, but the feel, the attitude, the work ethic you get from 1-800-CONTACTS is second to none. It's just an amazing experience. So I look forward to all of the questions and comments in the next hour. I do appreciate Melissa or MJ being on here, with Stephanie being on here. There's a question about, can we share our LinkedIn profiles? Yeah, I'll have my LinkedIn profile shared. I'll put it here on the link here in just a sec. But one more question just came up. Do we have software engineer positions? We do. It happens to be one of the areas right now that's a little bit, we grew a ton last year with software engineering. It's a little bit slower this year as we've had a lot of team members stay. Not a lot of team members have left. But yes, we do more along the lines of mobile development and full stack C#.net experience is what we look for. The occasional one we also look for is, ironically, PHP for some of our sister companies like Lingo and Boomerang. So again, yeah, if you want to stick with this, Garrett, for the next hour, we can talk more about that as well. So I appreciate the comment there. But yeah, other than that, I appreciate everybody being on here. So for the next hour, love to talk to everybody else. Luke, it's all yours, man.
Matt, MJ, Steph, that was incredible and so cool to hear about all of the great things that are happening over at 1-800. You guys are doing amazing things right now, and fun to hear about some of the founding story and the vision behind the company. Really excited, everyone, for the remainder of the day. If you want to catch 1-800 in a one-on-one environment where you can come and ask them questions, join the next session, and there'll be some Q&A. For those sessions, you can jump around. There'll be all 4 preceding companies that are presented today. there that you can go and interact with. The one thing that I'll just point out as far as the schedule goes is that MX is also holding an information session at past. And so if you want to catch that information session, be sure to check that out too. But otherwise, love the engagement, love all the chat messages, and looking forward to seeing you in the networking portion of this. Thank you so much.